The story of Philippine independence is a story of struggle, sacrifice, and the unwavering desire of a people to be free. For more than 3 centuries, the Philippines was under Spanish colonial rule. Beginning in 1565, Spain controlled the islands, shaping the country's religion, culture, and political system. But as the 19th century came to an end, a growing sense of nationalism began to rise among Filipinos. One of the most influential figures in this movement was José Rizal. Through his novels Nali Mi Tanher and El Filibusterismo, Rizal exposed the injustices and abuses of Spanish authorities. His writings awakened a powerful sense of national identity among Filipinos. In 1896, the Philippine Revolution against Spain began. Revolutionary leaders such as Emilio Aguinaldo led Filipino forces in a fight for freedom. After years of resistance, Spain's rule began to collapse. On June 12, 1898, Aguinaldo declared Philippine independence from Spain in Kawit, Cavite. The Philippine flag was raised for the first time, and the national anthem was played. For many Filipinos, it seemed that freedom had finally arrived. But history had other plans. At the same time, Spain was at war with the United States in the Spanish-American War. After Spain's defeat, control of the Philippines was transferred to the United States under the Treaty of Paris in 1898. Instead of independence, the Philippines became an American colony. This led to another conflict known as the Philippine-American War. Filipino revolutionaries who had fought Spain now fought against American forces. The war was brutal and devastating, costing hundreds of thousands of lives. Despite the resistance, the United States eventually established colonial rule over the Philippines. During the early 20th century, American authorities introduced major changes to the country. They built schools, roads, and government institutions. They also introduced democratic systems and public education using the English language. However, many Filipinos continued to push for independence. Political leaders such as Manuel L. Quezon worked tirelessly to negotiate with the United States for self-government. After years of discussions, progress finally came. In 1934, the U.S. Congress passed the Tidings-McDuffie Act. This law promised that the Philippines would become fully independent after a 10-year transition period. The following year, in 1935, the Commonwealth of the Philippines was established. Manuel L. Quezon became its first president. The Commonwealth served as a preparatory government, allowing Filipinos to govern themselves while preparing for full independence. But the road to freedom was interrupted by war. In 1941, during World War II, the Philippines was invaded by Imperial Japan. The Japanese occupation lasted for more than 3 years and brought immense suffering to the Filipino people. Cities were destroyed. Thousands of civilians were killed. Many Filipinos joined resistance movements and guerrilla forces to fight against the occupation. American and Filipino forces eventually returned in 1944 under the command of Douglas MacArthur, who famously declared, "I shall return." After intense battles, the Philippines was liberated in 1945. But the country lay in ruins. Despite the devastation of war, the long-awaited promise of independence was finally fulfilled. On July 4, 1946, in Manila, the United States officially recognized the independence of the Philippines. During the historic ceremony, the American flag was lowered, and the Philippine flag was raised as a symbol of a new and sovereign nation. Manuel Roxas was sworn in as the first president of the newly independent Republic of the Philippines. After centuries of foreign rule under Spain, followed by decades of American colonial administration and the hardships of World War II, the Philippines finally stood as a free and independent nation. Independence did not immediately solve the country's challenges. The Philippines faced the difficult task of rebuilding cities, restoring the economy, and establishing strong democratic institutions. Yet the moment of independence marked the beginning of a new chapter in the nation's history. Today, the story of Philippine independence continues to inspire generations of Filipinos. It is a reminder that freedom is never easily won and must always be protected. From the writings of José Rizal, to the revolution of Emilio Aguinaldo, to the leadership of Manuel Quezon and Manuel Roxas, The journey toward independence was shaped by the courage and determination of countless Filipinos. On July 4, 1946, the dream of a nation finally became a reality. The Philippines had taken its place among the independent nations of the world, and the long struggle for freedom had finally reached its historic victory.